An open letter to the Honorable Dominic LeBlanc. My dear Minister, at this time when Canadians are concerned about the treatment they are receiving at the hands of the current American administration and the hardship and the harm the tariffs have caused on the Canadian economy, I write to you to bring to your attention as well as express my concern regarding the transfer of more than $1 billion of tax-deductible donations collected in Canada to the wholly owned American Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, commonly known as the Mormon Church. This church is headquartered in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's an American corporation sole, a legal entity consisting of a single sole natural personal owner. Currently a man by the name of Russell M. Nelson, who serves as the church's president. Minister LeBlanc, as you know, Canadian registered charities may not act as conduits, receiving donations from Canadians and funneling those funds without direction or control to an organization to which a Canadian taxpayer could not make a gift and acquire tax relief. However, the Mormon Church has funneled over $1 billion to its U.S. headquarters through what some see as a registered loophole. The foreign donee is Brigham Young University, BYU, a university wholly owned by the Mormon Church. The church started moving money across the border to BYU in 2007, sending $50 million that year, and another $40 million in 2009, then over $100 million in 2010, and $100 million more in 2011. This chart that you're seeing here shows the transfers for the most recent years that have been reported. It's a stunning level of wealth being sent to the American university. Now, according to the 2021 Canadian census, 85,000 individuals in Canada identified as Latter-day Saints, far below the 200,000 claimed by the Mormon Church and also down from about 111,000 a decade ago, reflecting the organization's decline in Canada. Only 154 Canadian students attended Brigham Young University Provo in 2020. This represents less than 0.5% of the total student body at BYU. The current cost of tuition for a Canadian undergraduate student attending BYU is about $6,600 US, or about $1 million for all Canadian students attending. This is roughly 1 to 2% of the funds the Mormon Church sends south every single year. While legal under the current Income Tax Act, this practice appears to be inconsistent with the spirit or intent of the legislation dictating how charities carry out activities outside of Canada. Indeed, it has the same effect as if the Canadian Church were to transfer Canadian donations directly to a foreign corporation. By the channeling of Canadian donations to this foreign university, as directed by the American church leaders, they are effectively enabling the U.S. Church to use its own funds, which would otherwise go to support this college, for other purposes, including boosting the church's vast investment portfolio, estimated to be over $200 billion. The fact is that those deductions have cost the Canadian Treasury as much as $280 million. The Mormon Church has also engaged in illegal financial activities in the United States through its church-owned investment firm, Ensign Peak Advisors. They created shell companies to hide $32 billion in stocks, according to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC. The Salt Lake City-based Ensign Peak Advisors created 13 shell companies with locations located throughout the U.S. between 1997 and 2019. These shell companies, rather than Ensign Peak, filed quarterly investment disclosures with the SEC. A shell company is an entity that does not have any active business operations. These type of companies can be used to disguise business ownership from regulators and from the public at large. Gerber Grewald, director of the SEC's Division of Enforcement, said in a statement, "We allege that the LDS Church's investment manager, with the church's knowledge, went to great lengths to avoid disclosing the church's investments, depriving the commission and the investing public of accurate market information. The church and its investment wing were consequently fined $5 million. Further, the Washington Post reported that a 74-page complaint was filed with the IRS in November 2019, alleging that the church's Ensign Peak investment arm stockpiled more than $100 billion in charitable donations instead of using them for philanthropic works, and the church also misled its own members about the uses of that money. Like many across Canada who support ethical and transparent charitable work, there is a shared belief that the tax-free charitable donations should be used to feed and clothe the poor, or at least build and maintain meeting houses in Canada, rather than fund billion-dollar shopping malls and bail out failing church-owned businesses in the United States, as the IRS complaint alleges. At a time when many Canadians are suffering financially, and when the U.S. administration has imposed economic harm through the imposition of unwarranted tariffs, Charitable donations collected in Canada should be used to help those in need in Canada, rather than add to the already vast financial holdings of a foreign religious corporation. At a minimum, Minister, a change in regulations should be considered, one that limits the transfer of charitable contributions to a foreign college or a university in proportion to the benefits Canadians may receive from those institutions. Finally, it's important to emphasize that this letter is not an attack on the rank-and-file Latter-day Saints, who are held in high esteem. The vast majority of the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints are honest and sincere individuals, doing their best to raise their children to be assets of Canada. The concern lies solely with the tactics and leadership of the religious corporation itself. It's also hoped that this letter will not discourage charitable giving. There are many legitimate Canadian charities that are doing outstanding work to help those truly in need right now, right in Canada. I am your humble servant.